Okay.
Alrighty. So, episode 2 of the Playing Pasta podcast. I'm back with the gang once again. We have Aiden, the
Hi,
trash
chat.
bag.
That's me.
We got
Uh,
Mariana, the cuddly raccoon. We got my main man Julian, the paid Dark Slayer, the Kurobot,
Okay.
and then we got the God of the Trash,
Yep. I'm here.
and then
I'm
I am your humble
garbage.
host.
I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm trash.
Uh, I know last time I was talking about how we're not gonna go into gotcha gaming again just yet, but I felt like because of what's happened, especially with Honkai Star Rail 3.8 and the end of Amphorius, I had a lot more I wanted to say about these types of games and like this peculiar thing they like to do. So while this is not necessarily an issue that pertains only to gotcha games, I'm going to use the gotcha games as a vehicle to steer us through this topic. So I'm gonna cut right to it. I don't understand why there are these characters in these games where like we'll have like layered characters where like using Star Rail for an example, we had Aventurine and we had Acheron and we had Sparkle and we had Black Swan and we had all these characters and their various interactions and interconnectivity over the course of the story of Penacony, and they all interacted with the main character at various points throughout that story, and there was but they were all characters. But there was one character that was introduced in Penacony that is a particular archetype of character that I've seen across all of the Hoyo games at this point. And there's one in Rua that I know of, where it's just like they're just there to be your girlfriend, and like I don't get why these characters have to exist. I don't know. So I'm gonna ask you guys. You guys can go in order of the chat from top to bottom. Why do you think for other characters like an Acheron or a GN, they'll market them and then they'll make them the main focus of a story, but like they don't like hardcore ship them, but then they'll have a character like a Shorekeeper or a Firefly or an Ayaka, and they'll just go, "This is your wife. This is your wife. We're going to
honey.
market her like a plushie, and you must like her more than all the other characters. Even though all the other characters, we also want you to like because you'll pull for them."
This is your wife now. You guys are married. Arranged marriage.
Arranged marriage.
What do you think, Julian? We're gonna start with you. Why do you think these characters exist?
Because people fantasize about those type of characters loving them, and that's why they're made.
I guess so.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of open and shut case.
I guess
We're
so.
done.
But if you really think about it, what makes them the most money, and what do these developers make these characters for? It's for these type of people who really do enjoy being the center of attention. Because most of these MCs are an empty husk, and that is very popular in all types of RPG games. This is even including role-playing RPGs that we play, like Skyrim, Oblivion. They're all empty slave, empty husk, and we put our imaginary into these characters. Same thing with these gacha characters. There's a reason why they're always silent. Like like you got Stella who sometimes talk, Rover sometimes talk, but they don't want to talking too much. Otherwise, that immersion is gone.
I mean, it basically is an escape from into fantasy. I mean, I play dating sim games, so I completely understand why they add that romance, because it does give them number one money. But it's also like, oh, I feel nice and fuzzy and warm because this character's paying attention to me. Likewise, the person might not get enough attention outside of real life, and at the end of the day, it just becomes all about money.
Like, remember actually, I think it was in China. I think it was Fire. You could call Firefly. I think it was Firefly
Yes.
when she released.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure everybody called them there. I'm pretty damn sure they were all on that. Like, hi Firefly, hi mommy.
That's oomph. That's oomph.
They also did the same thing with
I'm
Sarah
calling
Regan,
you,
now that I
call.
think about it.
Yeah. They put a wedding ring on her. They literally were like,
God.
so wife. And I was like, how about we stick with Magical Girl and leave it at that?
Yeah, I swear, I swear
so badly want a
that was like
magical girl.
such an unnecessary detail that they added to her character. It's like, oh, okay.
Because they emphasized it too. Because I don't know if you remember the animated part of that ending where they had that animated cutscene of all the heirs, and the main character put a ring on her finger while she was sleeping. Ugh,
Oh.
barf.
Oh, that's a
Oh
bit
my
weird.
god!
That's a
Oh,
bit strange even.
and see, that's why I said, like, it's kind of shippy, you know. It's kind of
it
shippy.
is also,
It's
one thing
kind of. Okay, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, the thing that I noticed in these types of like characters and stuff like that, and the reason why we don't get that with Aventurine and Akron is because Firefly never really interacted with the other characters, besides like at the end with like Blade and stuff. While Akron, Aventurine, and the others, interact with the other characters, so it became less shippy.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like I smell romance in this bounce. It was more like, oh, this is a character with Akron and Aventurine. Oh, this is a character and we're learning the background.
Yeah.
Isn't
I'm
it?
pretty sure there are certain characters that there are certain people who wanted to.
But when you do think
ship
about it, are they making these type of characters, for us, or for their actual target audience?
For the Gooners.
For the
Isn't it?
Gooner. It's
Isn't
me.
it
I'm the
literally-
Gooner.
Isn't it just like exposure though? Because like Firefly was what 3.3? Yeah,
No, not 3.2. She was 2 point.
or 2 point. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm in the future.
She was 2 point.
2.0 was Rex
Because
One.
2.0 was and
2.3,
2.1 was
yeah.
Green and Akron. 2.2 was
Boot Hill.
Robin and Boot Hill. Yep, 2.3.
Yeah.
2.3.
So that's 4 different patches of time that you got to spend with Firefly. Firefly got like way more screen time than everyone else. Like they were playing the long game. You had so much time to spend with
Robin was
Firefly
not a
compared to
character, by the
everyone
way.
else. What's up?
I said Robin was not a character originally.
Nope.
Yeah,
Uh,
no
Just
time.
background noise.
yeah. She
So,
just
like,
existed.
She was there.
They have you hang out with Firefly Firefly so long that you just end up with a little bit more of an emotional attachment, even if it's not like a that's my girl attachment, like if that's just oomph. You have
Yeah.
She just has so much fucking screen time that she becomes much more of a character in your eyes, so you're over her. Cause that's oomph,
That's
You know what
Sophie.
that's oomph.
I can agree to that. I definitely, for me it was like I mentioned Ayaka because for Genshin, the moment you get to Mizuma, it kind of feels like that because I'm reflecting. It's like, we went through the Mondstadt area. The characters felt pretty independent. Like at first, I thought they might have been trying to do something like that with Amber, but I mean, Amber was just, just came off as like a really good friend who was helping us.
Amber is Amber.
Amber is Amber, and then we didn't really get like that kind of close to like D-Luke and Kaya and Jean and Lisa and the others. So it was just kind of like, I thought that was the direction they were going with Amber, but that's not really the direction they went. Then we move to Liyue, which was the next region, and we had Tartaglia there for a while, but like again, it was kind of like he was there and he was helping us in the moment, but like clearly he had ulterior motives that he had plans that he was working on in the background. So it was kind of like whatever. But then you get to Inazuma, and they like, let's look at the lineup of these characters.
I mean, wouldn't you say Shao
Ayaka
was like the same, or no?
But see, the thing with Shao is I would say that Shao has progressively become that character for Liyue, but that's over the course of multiple versions. Like Shao wasn't like drilled in with Liyue when he was first introduced. It was because he was kind of standoffish to you at first. Clearly he saved you, and like he showed up at the very end with the other enchanter creatures. I can't remember what they called them in Liyue, but he showed up with all of them to help you. The Adepti. He showed up at the end with all the Adepti at the end to help you combat the threat that Tartaglia posed. And then that was kind of it. And then we didn't really get anything else with Shao until like I believe so we really did because like for that first Lantern Rite event, we didn't really get too much with him because like that's really where they build the relationship between the Traveler and Shao is through the Lantern Rites, because they always have a dedicated Shao segment in each of them for the most part. But like it didn't really get started on like our quote unquote shipping him until like at least I didn't start noticing it until that Cataclysm event, which happened after Inazuma, which would mean that we had already gone through the entirety of Inazuma and experienced the aggressive shipping of Ayaka and the main character, which that they still do. So I would say, I mean, you could count Shao, but I think the difference is that it wasn't immediate, and it doesn't take up the entirety. Like Firefly's relationship with the Trailblazer consumed the entirety of Penacony, because even if you don't count 3.8, where they do it again, it was, we meet Firefly, we go on a date with Firefly, we try to protect Firefly quote unquote dies, and then our motivation from that point forward is just trying to figure out what's going on because of what happened to Firefly. And then she reappears at the end of 2.1, because all that happened in 2.0, and then she died, and then we go through the entirety of 2.1 putting up with all the stuff that happened in that quest while still trying to figure out what was going on because we care about Firefly, or that's how the story has framed itself. And then she reintroduces herself back into the story at the end of 2.1 to then dominate the entirety of the story in 2.2. So
which is also conveniently her release chapter.
Yeah.
She comes out and all the money. That's all it is.
And it's clearly not every character, because we've gone through Black Swan, we've gone through Sparkle, we went through Acheron, we went through Aventurine, Robin debuted in 2.2. We got Boot Hill, who up until the end of that chapter, the Trailblazer didn't actually meet Boot Hill until the end of that chapter. So the majority of the time, Boot Hill was with Don Hung.
Listen, it was two guys of the hunt being bros. That was the patch, okay?
They were throwing out, okay?
Definitely bros, of course.
Uh-huh.
Nothing else
They were
going on.
throwing out.
Do you see me winking? I'm winking.
And then
Oh, because they smooching or no? What are you winking for?
You'll figure it out.
Oh, okay.
and like and I like I'm thinking of these characters and I'm like, all of them had appeal, right? Like Aventurine had appeal. He had an entire, like 2.1 was his story, and it was amazing. Acheron as a character in that story and throughout the entirety of Penacony, also very interesting. She had a lot of intrigue coming from Honkai Impact. She was also very interesting in Penacony. She was set up real well. She had a mystery around her, and she was Shield, her Sparkle Shield, marketed, but neither of them were like, yeah, that's my wife right there, though.
That's my honey.
You know, that's my boo thing. I went on a date with Acheron. Like you didn't really do that. You didn't really do that with Acheron. And like there was Ayaka. ZZZ just recently did the exact same thing with Yisha Guang.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't hear me
Weathering
talk about that.
Weathering Waves had Shorekeeper. When did that quest come out, Julian? Do you remember? Was it 1.2? 3?
Shorekeeper was only 1.3.
1.3? 1.3.
I was gonna say right after I finished playing, like after I stopped playing on stream.
You got tired.
Well, no, there's two.
It's like-
The gacha games are happening too much all at once. Okay.
Yeah, there's too
Yeah, there's
many.
a lot of them.
I have no time.
And there's more coming out.
Oh God,
Yeah, Enfield
more
comes
coming
out
out.
next week.
I can't.
Yeah,
I got back into playing Obey Me, and I'm in hell right now. I'm like, fuck, I forgot how long this takes.
Anyway, back to the topic.
Yeah, but like,
Wives.
so, I guess it's a form of advanced marketing, but like, I guess the thing that's always puzzled me about these characters is because clearly they want you. I mean, in their ideal version of events, they would want you to pull for every character. So, like, outside of like story stuff, which they write the stories themselves, it seems kind of wild that this continues to happen in so many games, where it's just like, here is your wife. That's why Sarini is my wife. I put the ring on her finger. She is my wife. She is not your wife. She is my wife.
Listen,
My wife.
that's fine because
I
Casterus gave me a ring. So that's my wife.
Oh yeah, that's true. Cassie.
Yeah, she did. She made me a ring, a special just for me.
Oh my god, she proposed to us. Oh my god.
That was after she was dead, though. But
Why do you have
Listen,
to
she
do
can
that,
be
bro?
the ghost wife. It's fine.
but like bringing Castorus up, that was also interesting. And see, I would put Shao in the same category as Castorus because these were characters that they clearly marketed in that way over time. That they wanted to go, okay, well, we'll put this into motion where like we're sure that the player base will like this character, will warm to this character, might ship with this character, but like they're not the main focus because you have Castorus, and then Sarini releases in a wedding dress. You give her the ring. You're giving her the ring.
Yeah.
She is in every way possible. She is displayed as your wife. And as an aside, how diabolical is it that her patch is 3.7 and then in 3.8 you go back to your other wife who is Firefly.
They really said a harem. Oh,
More like harem.
Oh.
harem.
But so we focus too much on the Hoyo side of this because Kuro did something very interesting with Wuwa, which is actually what made me want to bring up this topic to begin with. Because in Wuwa, While I haven't experienced the full story myself, in Wua we had Shorekeeper, and she was introduced earlier on in the story in 1.3, which is at the beginning of the game. So you'd probably be able to see her quest very early on, and they did, a lot of the same things that I felt that they did with Firefly and with Cyrene and with Ayaka. But we have a character in that game called Frolovia, who is anti-shipped with us. She has a deeply captivating story where it starts off from the perspective that you think, okay, she's a villain like Tartaglia is because she's working for Wua's versions of the Fatui. But she had the past to the Rover, the main character of Wua, and it seems very romantic, but then it takes a dark turn, and because of things that Rover did, which grossly wronged her, whereas somebody like Shorekeeper who would love Rover regardless of what Rover did, Frolovia, because of those events, is like, nah, man, see what you did, was messed up, and I don't appreciate that you did that to me, because what you did psychologically destroyed me as a person. So now I'm gonna dedicate everything I am to being anti whatever you are. And I was like, that's a cool concept because they
I love that.
they were pulling us in one direction, like, oh, it's another wife, but that ended up not being what she was. And I'm gonna let Julian better explain because he actually completed the quest, and so like I'm pretty sure he could like better cover it for me for Frolovia.
There's two ways you can technically take this, because like what Travis was saying, he's kind of right, but he's also kind of wrong because how the story presents itself with Fornova. And I am stepping into like spoiler territory, so I'm going to say like very little. There's a high chance that since the start of all, Fornova was literally getting manipulated, and she actually never met Rover, but she was being manipulated into thinking she saw Fornova.
You mean Rover?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a character in Wua, which y'all won't see until the damn near end of Redecita. He is the cause of everything, and he's able to become anybody in the world. He can literally copy people. So let's say he sees Muna in the street. He already copied her and got her all her memories. Can sound just like her, and can have multiple bodies all around the world.
Damn. Sarah, you're free from murder now.
Isn't that kind of a spoiler though?
I don't know.
But at the same time, they kind of just like it's like a slightly hint at it, because you kind of see it, but at the same time you kind of like, I can believe this actually did happen. Like Rover and Fornova, like, because in like Fornova eyes, Rover made a promise, and he didn't keep it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what the reason is. You guys will find out if Muna or Travis get to it eventually. She'll get to it eventually. I was making a Amanda Show reference. The quest really dies down to like philosophies and who's the bigger hypocrite. Because at the same time, Fornova is also a hypocrite. But on the other side, Rover is a hypocrite. And you see it throughout the whole quest when you start to see a little bit more of Fornova's past and how she became what she is today. Because you eventually find out Fornova is probably just as old as Rover.
Because Rover is supposed to be like a super, super ancient being.
And
Damn,
Fornova, all we know is
Yeah,
she's been
granddaddy.
living a long time. A long time. and she's been betrayed by everybody.
Damn.
And all she wants to do is bring back her village.
Oh, poor baby.
But she also did cause a lot of atrocities. She killed a lot of fucking people.
That's girl boss of her.
Yeah, it's okay. We support women's wrongs.
Yeah, we support women's rights and wrongs.
So,
we have waifu and the anti-waifu. I see.
very much. It's hard for me to get to specifics without being like super spoily, because like because the second when you start the quest, you're just thrown into the whole thing with Fernova, and these like every 2 seconds you're getting a cutscene with Fernova and Rover, because they're literally bickering at each other, just saying like, no, you're dumbass, no, you're dumbass, no, you're bitch, no, you're bitch, and it's just consistently the stakes just gets higher and higher until the final cutscene happens, and you're like, well, that happened.
I'm sorry. Like, I am a fan of enemies to lovers. You got me there. A woman that hates me? That's hot. A woman who could kick
yeah.
my
And I
ass.
think that's one of Rua's strongest suit is how they handle Fernova. It was really good seeing somebody's like, no, fuck you, fuck your ideologies, you're a hypocrite, I'm doing things my way. And she never stepped down, which was the best part. There was no, damn, I was wrong. No, it's just like, no, I stand by my beliefs. You're a bitch. And
She's stubborn. It's hot.
which was phenomenal. And let me tell you, that quest polarized the whole Wither Witch community. People were attacking each other for their opinions of how the story went. It was rabid.
People did not like that quest, and the people who did like that quest was like, no, it was good for these reasons. And the people who didn't like it were like, yeah, man, but they're misrepresenting Rover. He can never do any wrong. And it's just like, oh, okay.
I know what you
It's a
are.
flawed MC.
I know
But what I do
It's
enjoy
okay. It's okay.
about
It's
like
okay
how
how
they're
it's flawed.
handling like these type of stories is they're consistently showing all like Rover is not who he used to be when it comes to all these things. Apparently his past self is completely different than how he was currently, and it consistently like reminds you, it's like, you wouldn't have done that before, interesting. And he's like, how far did Rover go?
How fuck am I am? Ooh, the whole like the sins of the past.
Yeah. And what Fernova says is like, bruh, you call me a hypocrite, but you gone further than I ever did. And
You
it's
can
like,
kind of see that with like some of the things Rover does, yeah.
Oh.
so yeah, that's really it for like how this, like that type of integrate the wife and like, oh no, I hate you stuff. It's when you guys like get to it, you will see this like how it is, because it's really good.
Think of
Exactly what
Luna
side
ever
I'm on. I'm
gets-
saying like I'm Team Fernova. Yes, fuck Rover. Fuck that man.
No, he's pretty.
I think if Muna ever gets back to playing Wuwa, I think we will redo this. I think we'll come back to this and we'll pick this topic up again about Furlova and whether we thought she was right or wrong. If Moon ever gets back to playing Wuwa.
I mean, I did play an hour of it and I fell asleep.
Oh,
I'm so tired lately. I pick something up and I fucking fall asleep in the middle of doing it.
I was working too hard.
Yeah, I
I
know.
feel that.
Anyway,
One thing-
waifus.
Yeah. And to cap the stuff off with Furlova, I do love the fact that like she also, for me, you know, even though I haven't gotten there myself yet, she for me also, you know, she covers a part of she's a class of character where she's a villain, she acknowledges that she's a villain, and she sticks to her guns regardless, even in the face of like having to deal with the MC. And she doesn't like cave to like any of the pressures. And the developers, I'll give Kuro this, they didn't cave to what fan expectation might have been, where like traditionally speaking, they kind of just like soften these characters and smooth out their edges to make them not villains anymore, which I think is kind of what happened with Arlecchino, where like she was built up as like this super evil person. We had two previous Tui Harbingers talk about how injured she was in both Tartaglia and Wanderer, and you know, just mom, dad. That's really it.
Father.
So like,
Father home.
I'm thankful that at least when it came to their villains get to stay villains, even if it seems like the Fatui are gradually being separated into one of two camps, either good guys or whatever the fuck Dottore is.
I'm sorry, but if they turned Dottore into like, I found my wrong.
He's too evil.
He's evil, yeah. That's an evil man.
He's too evil. They can't make him good. They can't play that, but it would make no sense. Dottore is
He has to be evil. And listen, I enjoy the fact that he is evil. Anyway.
I love evil. I love evil men and evil women.
This is not the topic of discussion, though, so I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
No!
Yeah. So,
I will kick you out of this call.
That's the end of the Filovia discussion. She was an interesting character in this, and she made me think about the other characters and like why they will oftentimes be just like waifu to death. But then we have Filovia as like the one, like, I guess, shining star in all of this. Is just like, nah, I'm not a waifu. I am a female character who's been hurt, and I will fuck you up.
I am the bad guy.
And that's even better. I'm sorry, but that's even better for shipping. Like, not having the kind of like romantic subplot. I love characters that have conflict in the beginning. So therefore, it's like, yes, I can write so much fan fiction about this. This makes me ship them, kind of way. There's history, there's past, there's unfulfilled, what do you call it? Possibilities.
I mean, I guess that also diminishes, though, the fact that these waifus might have history with the character, because we are still pretty foggy on like the Trailblazer Firefly like connection in its entirety, and I like with what happened in ZZZ, there is some backstory, even though it's a little floppy. And really, the only one, if we're talking about Hoyo specifically, the only one we don't really have a history with would be Ayaka and the Traveler for that sort of relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, we're still learning about.
Because the Traveler is just a new. Because the Traveler is just a new person. Well, not new, but like. Ayaka didn't exist when the Traveler was walking around with her sibling before, and then when they went into their deep sleep, they only reawoken around the time that Ayaka would even be born as a character. So yeah, it's kind of weird, that they just like go that deep. And that's not to ignore the past that Firefly and the Trailblazer have, even though the Trailblazer doesn't remember and we're only catching glimpses of it. But it's like, what was their relationship? Because like, without knowing who the Trailblazer was, I can't like. I guess I can't see like a path where like this is who they were, but they are not this person anymore. And then this is Firefly, but they're treating the Trailblazer like they're still the person that they knew.
Yeah.
Even though they themselves say several times, "Well, I'm gonna do things differently and pretend like we don't know each other because the Trailblazer won't know who Firefly is, but Firefly has the ability the ability and the cadence of knowing who the Trailblazer used to be." That's why we have to get into 3.8, because 3.8 rewrote Penacony.
Not really.
And the things
It added to it. It didn't rewrite it. I will fight you on this because it wasn't unnecessary. It wasn't unnecessary overwrite. I think it was necessary, but I don't think it was necessary right after Amphorius. Just a hot take.
I can't believe it. Like Amphorius, it's just right there, bro. It's just like, I don't even know, like, why, man. One emotional, and like compared to like what we went through with Amphorius, it feels kind of bad because it's like, man, I feel bad for you, Firefly, but like, I had to watch people that I loved die 90 times.
Yeah.
And then I had to watch one of them go through 33
million
550,000
traumatized.
336 lifetimes of suffering. I'm sorry, Firefly.
Yeah, when you put those two together, it's like, I think somebody had a worse, situation than you, Firefly. I don't feel as bad.
It's like you know what? Entropy loss syndrome, terrible affliction, the Glamoth Iron Cavalry pretty much all getting wiped out in the swarm disaster, losing your entire planet and your people, tragedy. Check this out though. Finan had to literally go through 33 million cycles of his friends dying, him killing his friends, and him failing to save Amphorius over and over again.
That's
You
like,
experienced all your suffering once.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's like,
I don't want to compare
I'm
tragedy.
sorry.
Tragedy maxing.
Anyway, that's why I'm like, I don't think we needed that right after Penacony. Right after Amphorius. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
We're a little sore in the heart. We're traumatized, actually.
I don't know where we would have placed it. Probably at the end of 4.x, but like, it didn't need to be placed where it was placed. I'll tell you that. But I will say, because when you do disagree with me, I will say is that the parts where they
He said, "Wait a second," and then muted. Anyway.
I'll never forget that guy.
We lost him.
No, he's coming back. He said, "Wait a second." What part of "wait a second" means he's not coming back?
He's dead. Travis is dead. We have to
My
run the
dad told
podcast
me
ourselves.
to wait before, and he never came back.
Oh my god.
All right, sorry about that. There was had a call. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. But I would say, so like, when you look at the gaps, because I mentioned this to Julian in passing several times over the course of us both completing 3.8, because we completed it before you got to, because that happened over Christmas. You were dealing with relatives and stuff like that, so you didn't have a chance to play it till the new year began. The gaps where these scenes are supposed to be, it makes sense. And when you go back and you played the original Penacony and you play through those segments, it's like, okay, there's clearly something that doesn't add up here. There's something that's missing. There's something that feels like it's been deliberately left out.
Well, yeah, that's why I said this added to it. It didn't rewrite it. It added what we were missing.
But I call it a rewrite because when we examine the story, mind you, it's just about Firefly. like because all the other details that are added are just like after the fact. Like they're important, but they're after the fact because the main point of the chapter is explaining those bits surrounding Firefly, and the bits that surround Firefly make it so that none of like okay, so Firefly, what was it? The scene where Firefly is like, we do the fireworks, in the original and stuff like that. That didn't happen.
Yeah, it was fake.
It was fake. That
It
didn't
was
happen.
so fake.
Yeah, and that's what I mean when I say rewrite, because for that to not be real, for that to have not happened, and the actuality of what happened is what we see in 3.8. That is a rewrite.
Well, that
Because
portion is rewritten.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I view it as a rewrite.
Not everything
and
was
there's some other
rewritten, though.
things that
That's
are
why I'm
unrelated
arguing
to-
this.
And there are other things that were rewritten that are not important for this discussion. But I was like, and there's also like the way the data is structured for Firefly. It's like I feel like they gave Gallagher new lines. Like I feel like he didn't say that in the originally. I'd have to go back and rewatch. But I feel like Gallagher. So like.
In the first scene,
'cause
that
I'm pretty
was
sure he
exactly
said-
bar for bar almost what the original was.
And he's like my goat.
My goat. I love that guy.
Yeah, I miss him.
I miss him. Come
Muna
back.
almost thought Muna almost thought it was Gallagher or Erasure because he didn't immediately appear.
I was like, what is this? Are they erasing my Gallagher? You can't fucking do that. I'll quit the game.
I'll quit the
I
game.
was like, who's
We'll
Gallagher?
put it in protest.
Who's
Fucking
Gallagher?
It's like, who are you?
When are we
You
gonna
are
get
not
Gallagher
my-
back in chapter? Yeah.
Oh my God.
No,
When are we
you're
getting
not.
it?
my dad.
Well, I mean, look. That's distracted from the point. The Gallagher came back as Mr. Rekka. That
No. Okay,
No.
first of all, this is not part of our discussion today, and we're getting distracted. And this is why we can't do anything within an hour, first of all. Second of all, make your fucking point. Stop talking about Gallagher now. We had the bit. It's over.
It is over. I didn't like that the things that they added. It felt like they were like, we just went through Amphorius, and now we're going to incorporate some of the tragic elements of Amphorius and attach them to Firefly, just so that we will then later have the Dahlia make the Trailblazer forget conveniently all of the important bits that only pertain to Firefly and the destruction, because somehow that was also related to destruction for her character. Was that we have this romance going on? It becomes increasingly more romantic as the quest goes on, increasingly more shippy as the quest goes on, and it's like, well, I mean, and like, you know, I told you this during the stream when I was like, before it felt like I like for me, it almost felt like on the first playthrough of the original Penacony, it felt like, oh, well, I mean, you know, might be like a smitten friend, like a friend who's like really has like a crush on you, but like nothing that serious. But this recontextualizes all of that and just makes us like, no, Firefly was like madly in love with you, and you don't remember them,
Oh.
and the story is being pushed in such a way where the only like, I guess the only like in storyline correct response is that you just have to accept those feelings and then return them, because to turn her down you know, is like is basically the same as killing her. So it's like, bro,
What?
like
Yeah, that's how they're
that's where
behaving.
the shipping I think went way too far.
Really? But I don't
That's
like
where the shipping I
Firefly
think
like
went way
that.
too far.
I'm already married to like
That's what I'm
Dong
saying.
and Sunday.
It's like,
wait a minute.
I think it's a
Nick-
little bit different because I picked up on the shipping immediately. I swear to
Yeah.
God, I made a
Yeah.
joke about it being a date with Firefly because
What's a date?
it was framed like a date. This wasn't like besties going
It
to
was-
explore.
It was like,
It was like
this is a date.
come with me on this romantic date immediately, and I was like, I guess.
It's a
Come on,
date.
friend, let's hang out.
Like I don't like you like that, but okay. Firefly, I'm gay.
Firefly, I don't know how to tell you this.
I'm a homosexual.
But like that aside, they do really want you to like put the two, like the main character and her together. And I'm like, for me, it's like, okay, but I feel like we're missing a lot of context and reason for that other than you told me to.
I hate
Yeah.
authority. If you tell me to ship someone, I'm not gonna ship them. I'm like, nope.
It's like, this
Not
isn't
doing it.
And for me, like it was like.
oh,
Go ahead.
I was like, this isn't the only game that's done
Go ahead.
that. By
I
a
mean,
long
okay,
shot.
baby, he's pushing Lucifer on me, and I'm like, I don't want you. I don't want your ass.
It's like, okay, just because you keep pulling him is different from like the narrative standpoint of the developers
no,
want
in
you
the
to tell the story. See, I haven't gotten that far.
No, in the store. Yeah. Oh wait, you're playing Oh Baby?
Yeah, I was. Anyway,
Oh, you were, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you were. I remember. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. No, I immediately could tell that that was a date when we were pulled aside, and I was like, Firefly, you're too cute.
I guess I just had a really bad read. I guess I just had a really bad read of the
What,
scene.
really?
Because
it's like-
Firefly when they're in their
Travis,
suit.
she want you.
Firefly.
yeah, I guess I just had a really bad read of the arena. I'm willing to accept the fact that I completely misunderstood the scene, but I was just like, man, this is. I had a really bad read because I'm oh man, that's cute. She's buying me things, and then we're going to the rides. I mean, I would go to the carnival with my homies, and like, you know, like if Muna said, hey man, let's go to this carnival over here. I'll pay for the games and everything. Oh man, that's cool. That's nice of Muna to do that for me. I wouldn't think anything extra of it unless like, but then again, I think that's just I'm oblivious
But if you take,
to certain things.
I think
no, it's
That's
not
for-
being oblivious. If you
no.
take-
Travis, they would smear
I
fucking
think
poop on
because-
your face, and you would say, "Nah, that's just a friendship thing."
No, stop! That's gross.
Okay.
Not you, they. Not somebody else, they. Wait, no, I'm being the third person,
Okay.
they. Wait.
Travis, I know how you feel because
I-
I don't
I know
understand when people flirt with me.
I know what you meant, but that's still gross.
It's like it took me until the scene where Firefly gets killed for me to go. Well, no, actually, no. Before that, I didn't realize the significance of those scenes until we took the photograph, and I was like, oh.
For me, I
That's what
thought
they
we
were
were
doing.
just
Because see, up until that
we
point,
were-
I was like, "Oh, they're just friends. They're just friends." And then I was like, "Oh, wait, no, that's not it at all. That's
no, yeah,
that's not even
yeah,
slightly
no,
what
I
this
get-
is."
that was for me at the sunset. That I'm like, this feels oddly romantic. Because before I was like,
That was
oh,
when I
is
was like,
this-
"Damn."
Is this gonna be the same as like
And
with
then once I-
background and Adventure? Like we're just hanging out, we're like getting to know each
And then the
other.
crazy thing was,
Best friend stuff.
and to piggyback off of that, to continue that, after that, once that switch had been flipped, man, I was like, "Oh, this is supposed to be romantic. 'Cause, you know, they took the picture together. They have the song in the background. You know, they got, you know, it's all cute. And then it's like, and that's why when Firefly died, and I was like, man, this fucking game, bro. I can't believe they did it to me again.
I totally forgot. Yes, the Robin song in the background. Yeah, that was so
Yeah.
romantic.
They did it to me again.
They took a scene from like Sojo anime.
Well, yeah, that's why I was like, that's when I was like, oh, so I wasn't, my joke was like legit. That was the actual date, because this is what, it's like,
It was-
goddamn Firefly, alright. I just met you, but okay.
Now you gotta die in front of me.
Yeah,
No, I have
and then
to-
she dies, brother.
Yep.
She dies.
Rest
she
in
dies.
pieces,
And,
Firefly.
and the only thing that kept me from like feeling like so defeated until the end of 2.1 was the fact that because I had already suspected that Firefly and Sam were the same character, and the fact that Sam still exists, because you fight Sam right after that, right after Something Unto Death kills Firefly, quote unquote kills Firefly, and then you fight Sam. Like the only reason I was like, I don't know how it works, but I know that Firefly and Sam are the same person, so Firefly can't be dead. That's why I was like, in the moment, I was like, damn, there's no fucking way they killed off this character. There's no way they swayed me like this. They swerved me like this. And then we have the fight with Sam, and I'm like, okay, Firefly's still alive. Because I suspected Sam and Firefly to be the same character since the opening. When we got White Knight, and I was like, okay, they're the same character. They're doing a lot of illusions here, so they have to be the same character. And then it was revealed that they were, and like after that, like the relationship then switches to, it's still kind of dating, because you know you go through that entire area where like you play all those mini games together just to get the tickets to get to the end so that you can have that audience with Sunday. And so it's like, okay, you know, like the relationship feels different. Like Firefly is more on it, she's more serious, you know, she's not as shippy as she's been acting. I mean, it's still shipping, but like it's not,
It was
quite the
different.
same
It
as
was
it was before. Like she, and I chalked up to her just being more serious now that she's back, because they're trying to like unravel the mystery of the Watchmaker. And then, you know, then she flies off, and we fight Sunday, and then we don't see her again until 2.3. We don't see her again until 2.3, because she's out for the rest of the for the rest of that update, because she doesn't do anything with us until we're on the Radiant Feldspar and she has the fireworks display. And then you take 3.8 and you go, okay, so we follow her again. It's way more shipping in 3.8, but I guess that's because like it's somehow a continuation of what happened before in Penacony, but it can't be a continuation because the feelings have to be like what she felt like in that moment in real time at the time, at that same time during the previous quest, which is also why it made me feel kind of rewritey, because like she felt way more like attached and romantically inclined towards the Trailblazer than she did the first time around, because it definitely felt way more aggressive this time than it did the previous time. I don't know. What did you think, Moon? Did you think that it was about the same, or did you also feel like it was way more aggressive this time around?
It's like having the context now of like that last portion of Penacony we saw originally was like a false memory. It definitely like she definitely is more like, oh, I love you, don't leave me bullshit. But like when you take it into perspective, you're kind of seeing what someone else thinks of the relationship between Firefly and the Trailblazer versus what it actually was, and the events that played out, what they actually were, versus let me just give you something fun to remember so you don't like destroy yourself, which kind of was the vibe. It's just kind of like the reality being more intense than than fiction, sort of thing. So like yes, but
I
like
just want to say,
I mean, I hadn't
do
played
want to
3.8,
beat up
but-
Shao because. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I was
I
gonna
could've-
beat up Shao Ji
I'm beating him
because
up
this
for
motherfucker-
Amphorius. What are you talking about?
I just want to beat up Shao Ji. I love him. I like affectionately. I want to beat him up because it's like, all right, you took my first wife away from me. Okay, you took Cyrene away. You just took Cyrene away from me, and then you kill Firefly in front of me, brother. It's like, what are we doing here?
He said,
It caused
Wait.
me more pain.
yeah, he said, wait, you thought that I was gonna give you a waifu for your main character? Nah, I'm about tragedy in this house.
Welcome to my life, where nothing is sacred and safe. I dropped something. Yeah, welcome. Goodbye. I don't know.
Well, you know, it's like, it's all about, like, creating those very strong, intense emotional connections, and then taking it away from you, so you're upset about it forever. You know, how could you cherish your waifu if they didn't take the waifu away from you, you know? You gotta fight for that. You gotta fight for that affection, okay?
You gotta go get your way. Save your damsel in distress. You gotta beat the dragon.
But that's the
You gotta-
crazy thing is that Firefly isn't a damsel in distress.
I know, she's a...
I know.
Yeah, she's strong as fuck.
Powerful.
She's super strong. I'm like I say, I'm more attracted to her in her robot form than her in her regular form. I'm sorry, Firefly.
She wants to be a normal girl.
That is the blood.
Stop offending her.
I'm sorry. I'm the offender.
No, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe Shao Ji did it to me twice, man. I thought he was only gonna do it. He did it to me once.
Nah.
I was like, okay. It furthered the story, and Firefly came back. Then he did it to me again in Amphorius, and I was like, this son of a bitch. Okay, well, you know,
Fool me once.
at least
Shame on
3.8. At least 3.8 won't be this bad. And then he did it to me again. He did it to me
Fool me.
again in 3.8. I was like, dude, wait. So 3.7 was a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And you're already doing this to me, you rat bastard.
What's
Yeah,
so
fuck it.
crazy is, like, even though they happen in such quick succession, it still feels like months in between what happened, and I don't know how that's real. It feels like, you know, timeline speaking, they happen right after each other, but like for me, it was like it felt like years in between the end of Amphorius and coming back to Penacony, but also that was way too, like, not enough time in between for the tragedy.
Well, I'm gonna, you know, there's this thing called 6 week patch cycles, and you beating the patch the first Thursday after the patch comes out. So then you
Because
sit
I
there.
don't know how to pace myself, and that's a problem.
I know. Hey, I
See,
respect.
Luna and I are on the opposite side of the
Bless.
spectrum. Bless you.
All right. I think we've gushed about this enough. So Jillian, I know
no.
you did not like the scene where Firefly replaced Acheron.
No, that was awful. Complete fucking awful.
My Acheron.
And I gotta say, it didn't hit the same. we were shipped with Firefly the whole patch, and they redid that cutscene so that Firefly could be the one to grab you and throw you in the air, and it did not have the same effect.
I'm sorry.
I want to be thrown by Akron. Excuse
Bro.
me. I want to be thrown into the ocean. Is that too much to
Where's my
ask?
Acheron relationship with the Trailblazer, huh? She just kind of
Right?
says vague words at me and then leaves. That's it.
Why can't we have two sides of the spectrum
That's
of
what's horrible about
girlhood? Okay, like lesbians.
Well, isn't Firefly both?
But didn't you say she wanted to be like?
Yeah, she does want to be a normal girl, but she's also a Glamoth knight who fought against the Swarm. We can't forget how strong she actually is.
Okay,
And she's slightly
oh
kind.
no! I'm not saying by strength. You know what I'm saying is that if we're going through like the spectrum of lesbians, you know, we got the femme, we got the the butch on like either side, and then we got.
Well, see, I think for Firefly, I think if you're really thinking of it in that lens, Mariana, I think for Firefly, her orientation is whatever the Trailblazer's gender is. If your Trailblazer is female, then she's lesbian. If your Trailblazer is if your Trailblazer, well, no, there's a difference because that implies that she could potentially be romantically interested in other characters. No, Firefly is only.
Well, no, because
Firefly
that's
is
it's
only
sexuality, not
romantically
not romantic orientation. First of all, second of all, Firefly is specifically Trailblazer sexual. There is no other. There's no other option.
Yeah. There's no other option. There's no other option. It is either the Trailblazer. It is either the Trailblazer or she's dead.
Yes, exactly.
It's not even no one. It's either the Trailblazer or death. There is no in between.
She is a ride or die, and she will die.
Yeah, she fucking died. That was our credit. She was so ride or die. She died at the end of the quest.
She died.
Oh
my god.
And you know what? It's been like 3 weeks since that happened. I still haven't emotionally recovered from that. I was like, oh my god! Like,
recover from that?
I'm serious. Because like it's not even like I shipped the Trailblazer with Firefly. If I ship the Trailblazer with anyone, it's probably March. But it's like what they did. It's like what they did to Firefly in that quest at the end of that quest.
Terrible.
Throughout that quest.
Terrible.
Like, if I didn't have Finon to compare it to, because unfortunately, even though you should never compare the tragedy of one person to the tragedy of another person, but unfortunately, they made too many illusions. They made too many illusions between her and Finon because they're both destruction. That I'm just like, okay, if you're gonna keep doing this, then I have to look at it like this. Okay, Finon suffered infinitely more.
Yeah, I'm not. See, when it comes to the scale of tragedy, I think the one that you're supposed to feel, the one that you're supposed to feel the worst for because you're supposed to ship her with the main character, I don't care as much because I'm still thinking about Finon.
Oh my god, Finon and everyone else on Euphorious.
I'm still thinking about them on Euphorious and crying, and you're like, care about Firefly, and I'm like, I can't. I'm still sad over this.
It's like, hey, your wife is back. I have no wife.
And I like my other wife, Irene. You know, she said it in her trailer. You know, it's like compared to the hero's 30 million tribulations, mere waiting is nothing. And I was like, you know what? You're damn right. You sat there and you waited for 30 million cycles. Finon suffered.
You just fucking watched and waited.
You sat there and you did fucking nothing.
You did nothing but tell stories for 30 million cycles. Meanwhile, Finon is killing My Day for the 4 millionth time, and while telling himself maybe this time it'll be different, and it was never different.
Never.
It was never different. And his reward for suffering through 33
Yeah.
million
Fucked up.
550,336 lifetimes of suffering was now you get to die as the final boss. It's like, oh my god.
Yay!
They really just said fuck that guy, and I'm like, how dare you? How dare you hurt my sunshine, my sunshine child for what?
I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would say that Shaoji just does not like finance.
Maybe he got jealous by everyone loving him. And he was like, no, they're happy. Must make them miserable.
like
No, that man planned it from the beginning. Don't you understand? This man writes tragedy and nothing else.
So, with all those allusions to fun, I was just like, I feel bad, and then I guess it's the way that entropy loss syndrome actually functions that messed with me the most, because I was like, man, this could almost be like if it wasn't for like the magical aspect of, oh, will you literally just fade away and disappear into like sparkly dust, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Because you essentially go into a catatonic state where you are no longer aware of anything around you, and then you're functionally dead, and you're just gone. And I was like, oh my god, that's like
That sucks. It's worse. I hate that.
It's so horrible. And having to listen to her sit there and talk to you and try, because she's like, all right, close your eyes, and she like sits there and tries to talk you through like what her ideal like dream date would be with you, and you're like, oh my god, and she's dying, brother.
Yeah, I gotta
dying
listen
in
to
real
this while
time.
she's dying.
It's like, oh my god, it's the right kind of tragedy. It's the right kind of tragedy.
So now you gotta buy the waifu merchandise right here.
Yeah, now I gotta go buy like 16 Firefly figures. I gotta get her E6 on 4 different accounts. Gotta get S5 over like gotta get all of her best in slot teammates at E6, S5. I'm just like,
Hardcore into
Yeah. Wait, what?
No, that business slot.
Oh, Dahlia. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think the purpose of the waifu really is the joke I was making there, to sell the merchandise, to sell the character pulls.
yep,
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. And so now we have to talk about.
I heard that cat.
That cat is catting. But now we have to talk about the elephant in the room. The latest shield waifu, Columbina. She has come out. People are pulling for her.
I don't.
She's destroying entire
Got her
nations.
nails stuck in my computer.
Oh no!
Oh my
She's
god,
destroying
and no
entire
picture?
nations.
There's no picture involved? Come on, Julian. You can't just say that and not show us.
Nah, you guys don't deserve shit. See shit.
Aw.
Yeah, we can't
She's
even see
destroying
it.
entire
That-
nations. She's the moon goddess. And people
better
like
walk away.
Luna are-
Dumbass.
Listen, I don't understand how I don't understand. First of all, Julian did talk over you, but I think I got the gist of it. First of all, second of all, I've still haven't gotten far enough in the story where I understand how she's waifuized, but also I do understand how she's waifuized, because who does she talk to but the Traveler for the first time in forever,
Only
besides
the
Lauma. Oh my god. New wife, and I'm like, let that girl be. Leave her alone.
She is voiced-
Leave her alone. Get a job.
She's voiced by Ron May's voice actor.
Yes, I know. We saw her, me and Mariana saw her at that panel at the convention over the summer. And she did,
Yeah.
at the panel, admit that she was Columbina's voice actress. So, I have known that for a while.
Yeah.
So you got to meet.
Yeah,
the
we
lady.
we got the lore before the lore dropped.
Yeah, she was really nice. I liked
Yeah.
her. I mean, I only met her for a split second because then I was sent on a quest to find stickers for our friend Devin.
The Naruto sticker quest. I remember that.
The Naruto sticker quest, yeah. Because it was a long line. I think
Yeah.
that's
Well,
right?
I was waiting for Robbie Damon at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you were like, I gotta go get stickers before the dealer's room or the artist alley closes. I'm like, okay, go. I'll be fine.
And then I came back 5 minutes later. No, not even. Like 15 minutes
I
later.
think
and I'm
I
like, "You have
waited.
no money."
I think I was in line for a half hour, which wasn't bad, but it was bad, you know? Anyway, we're getting distracted.
Yeah. So Columbina. None of us know that character's story. Hopefully, Muna will play it at some point.
I'm in the middle of trying to catch up.
With all these unvoiced quests.
Oh
that
my
you
god.
can't skip.
Yeah, I went like I'll say this because I was going to get materials for her because as you pointed out, I did pull her. And I would literally walked into an area and it started an unvoiced quest. And I was like, girl, I am falling asleep. I am like barely keeping my eyes open. Can I unlock this waypoint? And I had to sit through it. And then they put me into a battle and then made me sit through more unvoiced voice lines about what was going on. So, like, eventually I'll catch up with Nodcry, but like, oh my god. Can I just...
And that, ladies and gentlemen.
On through Natlin. So
And
you know,
that,
you're
ladies and
farther than
gentlemen,
me.
is why. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why you know Columbina is the latest version of this character. This archetype of waifu character.
Because
'Cause
everyone's
there are
going
waifu
back to
characters,
Genshin.
and there are husbando characters, and then there are wives.
Why?
I mean, yeah,
Why?
basically, like, I don't think, like, I understand the severity of the difference of waifu and wife, okay?
Really putting together.
I just love everyone equal. His waifu's like, oh, so waifus are like Firefly, and then wives are like.
No. Firefly is a
Waifus
wife.
Are Acheron. Firefly is a wife.
No, that's your girlfriend.
Future wife, okay?
I don't mean it's your wife.
So
face out,
Firefly
face
is a
out.
wife.
Face out, interesting character. Deep backstory. Waifu.
Yeah.
Cyrene. Put a ring on it.
Wife.
Wife.
Wife. Like capital W.
Oh, okay. So we went and got married and we got officiated.
Officiated.
And
Yeah.
I think,
What he said.
I think that. I don't know. I think that about covers it. I personally find myself getting sucked into the stories surrounding these characters, but ultimately, I don't care for them because any character can be superficially interesting and enticing when everything in the moment for the story is bubbled up to make you deeply infatuated with those characters. And sometimes it lands, sometimes it did not land with it. I was like, okay, well, I mean, sure.
Ayaka got her
Give up
socks
so
wet
fucking fast.
dancing, and I was like, fuck this character with her motherfucking soggy socks in the river.
Fucking hate that. You know what? That was the perfect moment they could have advertised to the foot fetishes. Taking the fucking
Oh my
socks
god.
off.
I like
Did
that
you-
hate
They did
is directed at her because she got her socks wet.
Oh yeah, I can't explain to you
I
what
hate
this
that.
this visceral anger is about her going into the water with the socks on, but it made me so mad. I don't like her.
It's like anytime. like every time I just see Dr. Ratio on screen and he's talking, I'm just like, I like this character, but I fucking hate when he speaks.
No, no, Dr. Ratio's great. Leave him alone. I don't understand what he says half the time. I always have to be like, oh, please repeat what you said. I did not understand.
Nah, fuck that guy. He's not Screaming. Screaming's too cool. Dr. Ratio is fucking useless, bro. That guy did nothing in East.
I don't know if Mariana played his like character thing, because I think that makes that kind of no ratio, because that really, like, I understand exactly where the hatred comes from, because that quest was hilarious, but also I was like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing?
Wait, there's a second character? Because I played his character quest. Though, to be honest, I didn't understand half of it. Because they were using long words. And I was like, oh, sure.
Okay, never mind then. I'll have to explain it later.
Actually, no, you know what? Reflecting on it, that quest made me even more angry because that was the most we got out of Duke Inferno.
And he fucking just died.
You know what?
Yeah, he got off screen.
And on that note, with the complete death of one of the most interesting characters that got off screen, I think we should call it there.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Playing Possum podcast. Remember to keep it classy and keep it trashy, because if it's garbage, then it's just no good. And also to remember, as always, that if you want to stay awesome, keep playing Possum.
Whoa! Tagline!
Yay! That shit was good. That was delicious.
Alrighty. We'll
I'm
see you
glad
guys
you're alive.
next time.
Bye, chat.
Next time we can talk about Husbandos.
And then get distracted for 5 hours. Anyway.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought about that one. I thought about that one since the last. I was like, man, I gotta come up with a better phrase. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do.
That was good. I like that one.
I like that one. You see how smooth that was?